In this video, I'm going to show you the top 5 stocks that you should have on your watch list going into tomorrow morning. Over the past 15 months, I've backtested and tracked over 4,100 small cap breakouts. And one of the things that the data shows me is about 34% of the stocks that make their high in after hours goes through and breaks that high the next day. And that's roughly 1 out of 3 stocks. So take these 5 stocks, make sure you set your alerts at the exact levels I'll go over in this video, and have them ready before the open tomorrow. But before we get into those, I'm going to go through every single small cap breakout that I took today. I'll tell you exactly why I took it, what I was looking at before I clicked the buy button, and how you can spot these same exact setups yourself. All right, boys and girls, let's go ahead and dive into the charts. Go ahead and pull up the ticker NCPL. Head over to the 5-minute time frame and follow along with me, guys. We're going to keep this very simple. I sat down at the computer right here at around 7 a.m. And the very first thing that I do is go through the top gainers list. These are going to be the stocks that are moving the most for the day. And as I'm moving my way down this list, boom, I run right here into NCPL. Well, I start to identify this stock is already making a move. It gets on my radar about right here. So it's already fitting the checklist here. At this point, it was well up over 17% or more for the day. That's going to be the first thing on my checklist. So as soon as I identify that, now I'm moving over here to the second part of my checklist to make sure that the price is below $20. This stock was super cheap at around 71 cents. Now the market cap needs to be below 50 million. If you guys are newer traders, market cap is what the company is valued at. And from tracking 4,100 small cap breakouts, I know that market cap needs to be below 50 million for me to have the highest probability of catching 15% or more on these stocks. If the market cap is below 50 million, it's a no-go for me. And that's not me trading off of intuition. That's what the data is telling me. If you're trading market caps over 50% and you're trading them after the breakout happens, there's a very good chance that you're not going to get 10 to 15%. Next thing I move over to is the free float. Preferably that free float needs to be below 10 million. And free float is the amount of shares that are available out on the market for retail traders like me and you to trade. From what I found is the lower the free float, the more volatile the stock is going to be, and the more likely, the higher probability, the higher win rate for 15% or more. If the free float is above 10 million, between 10 to 50 million, I do have a couple setups that I will trade, but most of the time I only go for a quick 5% on those breakouts because that has been the most consistent take profit for those specific setups. So for NCPL, market cap is well below 50 million. Free float is well below 10 million. So everything is a check here. And then for this specific setup, I was identifying all of the things that I look for on this pullback. I've already rolled this out to my one-on-one students, and I end up getting into NCPL on the pullback right here. And I got in right here around this level. So it fit everything that I needed. And I was licking my lips here and I'm like, hell yeah, 30 out of, and today it was 30 out of the past 34 trades and the win rate was close to around like 88%. I was like, hell yeah, I'm going to get into NCPL here. This is going to be a quick winner for me. And unfortunately, this stock starts to pull back. And that's fine because for this specific strategy right now, I have a 20% stop loss as the default. As I continue to get more data, I may have the opportunity to move that stop loss up a little bit here. But for now, I'm just going with a 20% stop loss. So my stop loss was right here down in this area from where I entered at. We continue to pull back, which is fine. I have no problem in drawdown. The unfortunate part is that I am trading in pre-market, so I have to make sure that I'm watching the chart here and I'm watching the price because I am the stop loss in pre-market. So this whole time here, I'm just watching the chart. I'm glued to the chart. My finger's on the seller bid button just in case this thing tries to roll over. And right here going into market open, we start to curl a little bit. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, this makes sense. This stock is going to, there's a couple things that I already like that I see from the time we pulled back here at 735. It's already bottomed out. It had the local bottom at 745 and it's starting to chop sideways and we're rounding up. There's a good chance that this stock is going to go breakout. And then right here at 935, again, I'm licking my lips. My 15% take profit is right up here around 77 cents. We make this move up to the pre-market high, and we just get knifed down here so hard on this 5-minute candle, and this thing just completely rolls over. So we hit the pre-market high here, and we end up rolling over. Later on in the day, this thing finally hits my stop loss right here around this level, so it ends up being a loss for me. Had to hold this stock for well over what seemed like forever, but well over 4 hours. So it's unfortunate, but I will tell you right now while I'm testing out this strategy, I am going in with small position sizes. So I have my normal position size where I try to be as consistent as possible across all of my setups. And then whenever I find a new strategy and I'm rolling that out and I'm still tracking it and testing it, making it better, what I'll do is I'll go in with smaller position sizes. So this one really didn't rattle me too much. This was a small loss. I'm like, okay, let's just move on to the next one. And I didn't get my next trading opportunity until after market open. And the stock that I traded was MIMI. And I traded this twice today. So MIMI, if you take a look here, this one made a move in after hours, But remember, I don't count any of the breakouts that happen before 6 a.m. or in after hours. So the high that was set right here was in after hours at 7:50 p.m. At 4 a.m. right here, when the market opens, it tries to make this pop up to 280, but flushes. If you made it this far in the video, I know you care about your trading. You want to take it to the next level, and I want to challenge you to go down there and apply for one-on-one training with me right now. I've backtested over 3,900 momentum stock breakouts, tracked over 15 different variables, and I have found 5 setups that have averaged around a 65 to 70% win rate. And I want to show 5 more students those exact setups. I want you to trade live with me every single day, and I want you to stop guessing and actually start making decisions based off historical data. You work hard for your money, which means you don't want to gamble it. If you want to gamble your money, go to the casino. You sit down in front of the charts. You want to make good decisions for yourself and for your family, which means you need the historical data. I'll show you my system. These are going to be one-on-one calls. You'll be working with me directly. So if that sounds beneficial to you, go down there, apply for one-on-one training right now, and I can get you live trading with me ASAP as soon as tomorrow. Talk to you down, gets rejected hard, and continues to pull back. So for me, if I sat down at the computer at 6 a.m. and when I started tracking the data, that's when I used to sit down at the computer. This was the local high right here at 269. So I went ahead and plotted out that level, set my alert, and then I get alerted right here at 9:50 as the stock is breaking out. I'm in the middle of my one-on-one training session with my students. This is nearing the end of the trading session, and we haven't taken any other trades thus far. And MIMI starts to break out here. Now, one thing I want you to notice on MIMI, price is great at 273. Market cap is below 50 million. That's great, but take a look at the free float here. Free float is just slightly above 10 million. So I can't go for a full 15% take profit on this stock. Even though it fits all of the checklists and the stock is from China as well, and China has a very high win rate for making quick 15% pops. I decided to stay safe on this one, and the most consistent take profit is 5% on this setup. So as I identified the setup and the breakout, the one thing that I'm looking for, since the free float is above 10 million, is on the candle that closes above my breakout level, does it have at least $1 million in volume? And the easy way for me to calculate that is I have a custom dollar volume indicator that I created here on Webull. And all I got to do is put my mouse over that candle, and you'll be able to see right here. Let me go ahead and circle it for you, and I'll put my mouse over it. You'll see it had about $9.6 million in volume roughly going through that 5-minute candle. So a ton of volume right there. So as soon as that 5-minute candle closes, I alert all of my students, let them know that I'm entering. We all entered the trade as soon as the 5-minute candle closed, and we make a beautiful pop up to $3.29, which is a total move, and this is important, of just barely 20%, 20.07%. So that was great. That was a quick winner for me. And then after that, after the stock on the next 5-minute candle closed green, this is something else that I found through the data that has a massive direct correlation to if a stock is going to continue its run. After a stock is confirmed breakout, is that next 5-minute candle going to close green? And when I first started tracking the data, I saw that massive correlation, but I didn't necessarily want to buy up here at the next 5-minute candle close. So what I started tracking was at any point in time, if a stock pulls back down to this level where I originally should have got in at, where it confirmed breakout, is it ever profitable to play those on a breakout pullback? And what I found, and the win rate for that is well above 70%, is that if a stock moves 20 to 30% and then pulls back to the level where it confirmed breakout, that is profitable, or the win rate is over 70% on those setups. So today, that's exactly what happens. We pop up to 329, which is 20%, right? So as soon as it starts pulling back, I already got my limit order down here. Boom, I get filled, and immediately we start to bounce to the upside, and I'm like, hell yeah. And my 15% take profit is right here at like $3.10, $3.12, somewhere around there, right? And as you can see, we just get rejected right here, and then we flush down again. And unfortunately for MIMI, it just could never recover from that. We try bouncing multiple times, but it gets rejected. We try bouncing again. And again, guys, this is why I tell you to always have a group order with a stop loss and a take profit. If I did not have a stop loss on MIMI today, I would have got hammered, because right here at around 2:10 p.m. EST, they did an offering. An offering is when they sell shares out on the market. So for me, I had a 15% stop loss from this level. So right here, my 15% stop loss was right here around this level, around 233. This thing knifes down. Fortunately enough, it hits my stop loss right here at 233 before it gets halted. And then when it opens up all the way down at 174, which is a massive 35% drawback. So always use stop losses, guys. This is unfortunate. I don't enjoy holding stocks into the later hours, because typically these offerings do happen later on in the day. You'll see stocks go for big runs and then knife down like this and get halted down on offerings that typically happen later in the day. So I prefer to take profits earlier in the day. Unfortunately, this stock didn't give me the opportunity to because it got flushed down and it just could not recover. And listen, these Chinese stocks, they're great for quick moves to the upside, but these are also not very responsible companies that typically you want to invest into for the long term, and they're very volatile. So the stop loss really saved me on that one. I'll take my 15% loss on that one. That was my second loser for the day, so that really sucked. In the meantime, though, I took another trade on CELU, and just to walk you through this setup, this stock popped right here at 9:15 a.m. EST. We get a deep pullback at 9:20 right here. I mean, basically it loses all of the gains that it made on this 5-minute candle and just chops sideways for most of the market open here. And then finally at 10:25, this stock starts to pop. And then at 10:30, we get a break above this level. Now, typically, from what the data shows me, from 10:01 to 10:30, if a stock breaks out during that time frame, most of my strategies are not profitable between 10:01 to 10:30, specifically the green light special if you've been following my content. However, for the quickie setup, if the free float of the stock is between 10 to 50 million, and if we take a look at CELU, you'll see the free float right here is at 18.1 million. It is still profitable during that 10:01 to 10:30 time frame. So I decided to take CELU on this breakout right here because we had well over $1 million in volume on that 5-minute candle. It's actually $11 million in volume roughly. I get in right here at the close of this candle. All of the one-on-one students get in as well. Boom, we get the quick moves to the upside. It ends up running all the way to 255, which was well over a 75% move. I only got 5% of that. But again, just remember, guys, these big moves to the upside, you may think that they happen often, but I promise you, your win rate is going to be around like 20%. You're going to be very unprofitable if you're always holding for 50, 60, 70% gains. I've tracked the data over 4,100 plus times. And if it was profitable, trust me, I'd be going for the full 75% because that's very enjoyable. So that was a good win in the meantime while I'm still holding MIMI. And then the stock that really, I mean, this one really ticked me off, and this one put me on tilt, as you would say if you're a poker player, is WKSP. My take profit was up here at 86 cents. And if you take a look right here at the free float, market cap, and the price, everything checks out. But the free float, again, was between 10 to 50 million. So this is the third stock in a row. We had MIMI. I took quick 5% take profits. CELU, quick 5% take profits. Both of those were winners. And then WKSP. And for this specific strategy, when the stock has more than $1 million in volume, free float is between 10 to 50 million. The current win rate is around 88% on those. So I end up punching it right here at the close of this 5-minute candle. Take profits right here at 86 cents. Dude, we get like a 2% pop, and then boom, on this next 5-minute candle. Again, it just flushes down. And I have my stop loss right down here. I end up getting stopped out for another 15% loss. So WKSP, MIMI, even though I won the first time on MIMI, those were the two stocks that really got me today. So unfortunately, today was a red day. So we'll see how it goes. Thus far, every other day for the week has been green. So tomorrow morning, I'm not going to change anything. I identified all of the correct setups. I took all of the right setups. There was nothing that I did wrong. Unfortunately, when you're trading in the market, every single day is not going to be green. That's going to be something that you have to get used to when you're trading in the market. So now let's do the hard work here, or not even necessarily the hard work, but the homework before the next day. Let's go over to after hours, and let's take a look at the stocks on the after hours gainers that fit our checklist. So if we go to the very first stock, we take a look at AEMD. Price is well below $20. Market cap is well below 50 million, and free float is actually below 1 million. So this is perfect. This is actually a stock that I might be able to take a 15% take profit on. The stock is also from the United States, and that's important. If the stock is from United States, China, or Canada, I can go for a 15% take profit. If we take a look right here, this 4 p.m. was the candle close. The high right here of around $3.37 from the close of this 5-minute candle. It's well up over 55%, so it's up over 17% or more for the day. So I can set a legit level on this bad boy. Currently, the level that I'm going to be watching is going to be right here around 337. Now, when this bad boy opens up at 4 a.m. tomorrow, there's two things that could happen. It could chop sideways, or it could continue to pull back. If it continues to pull back when I get to the computer, I'm just going to set my alert at 337. Or this stock could rally early in the morning as soon as market opens at 4 a.m. and go and make a new high. And if it does make a new high prior to 6 a.m., when I sit down at the computer at 6 a.m., I'll just readjust it to wherever the new high is at, and that's going to be where I set my alert at. However, AEMD is definitely a stock that I could potentially play. Now, next up is going to be EPOW. Take a look. Price is great. Market cap is at 26 million. However, keep in mind that market cap reflects the market cap of the price that the stock closed at. And the stock closed at 44 cents right here, which is all the way down here. The stock is currently trading at 61 cents, and the market cap increases with the price increase. So that means that if the stock is currently up 37%, we also need to take that market cap and increase that by 37%. So I know roughly if you double the market cap of 26 million, let's say it's up 100%, that's going to put it right above 50 million. So what I want to do is take my rectangle up here on the Webull desktop app, go from the 4 o'clock p.m. candle because that was the previous close, and go ahead and map that out to the high up here around 76 cents where this red candle opened. And we can see that's around 69%. So currently right now, that high, if you increase the $26 million market cap by 69%, it is still below 50 million. If this high was like 100% or higher, I wouldn't even play EPOW because what I care about is what is the market cap of the stock when it's at my breakout level, because that's truly what matters, because that's where I'm going to be buying at on a breakout. So fortunately enough, it's going to be just below 50 million. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and set a horizontal line right here at 76 cents. This stock is already starting to pull back. So more than likely, it's not going to make a new high by 6 a.m. So when I sit down at the computer, my alert's probably going to go right here at this level. Now, if we take a look at the free float, identify that the free float is at 44 million. It is not the most consistent setup or the most consistent take profit to go for 10 to 15% gains on a setup like this if it breaks out during the right time frame. It is best to go for a quick 5% gain. So if the stock does break out in my trading window from 9 a.m. till 12 p.m., it has more than $1 million in volume, I'll take this for a quick 5% setup, just like the 3 trades that I took today. Now, next up, funny enough, is NCPL. And take a look here. This was the breakout level earlier in pre-market. We got rejected right here at market open. We pull all the way back. Look, this thing bounces so hard. And look at where we're getting rejected again in after hours. So this is going to be interesting. It is rounding up here while I'm making this video. Currently, right now, the high in after hours is right here around this level of 70 cents. And if you go from the close right here at 4 o'clock and you map that out, that's up 30%, more than enough to be a valid breakout level. But we can see it's actually probably going to go make a new high right now. So what I got to do is be patient and wait. When I sit down at the computer tomorrow, I'm going to identify whatever the high was pre 6 a.m. I'm going to map out that level, and then we'll see when a 5-minute candle can break out above that level. So here's the thing, though. Just because NCPL was a loser for me today does not mean that I won't take that stock tomorrow. I try to take those emotions completely out of it. If it's my setup, if it's a green light special, if it's a 5% quickie, if it's any of the setups that I trade, I will take that setup even though it was a loser today. Hopefully, NCPL will give me my money back. So that's definitely a stock you want to have on your watch list going in tomorrow morning. ESTC, market cap is way too high, 8.7 billion. Same thing for GAP as well. MODD, this is another stock you should have on the watch list. Market cap is well below 50 million. Free float is below 10 million. Let's take a look at where this stock is from. The stock is from the United States, so that checks out as well. Currently, the high for this stock is going to be right here at this 424 level. Now, we want to take the rectangle from the previous close here at 4 p.m. and just kind of measure that out. And it's just barely up enough. It's up 17% right there at that level. So that is a legit level, but we are very close to that level. So at 4 a.m., it might, again, pop up, go higher. If it does, I'll set a new level up here. If it pulls back, I'll set an alert at 424 when I sit down at the computer. All right, so AEMD for sure, EPOW, MODD. And those are the main stocks that I currently see that are at the top of the list that could potentially go breakout. Now, from everything that I've tracked over the past month or so, pre-breakout, about 34% of the stocks that set their highs in after hours go and break that high the next day. So that's about 1 out of 3 stocks. So make sure you set your alerts on these. And if you're watching this and you trade with over $10,000 in your account and you want to learn my full system, you want to trade with me every single day, I'm going to pop a couple testimonials here. These are my most recent one-on-one students. Here's exactly what they got to say about the one-on-one program. Guys, you're missing out. Come join it. I'll show you the green days, the red days. I'll show you all the data that backs it up. Click that link down below to learn a little bit more. I'll see you in the next video.